Akira could never have imagined that his childhood friend, whom he had trusted blindly all these years, was actually the current head of a dangerous spy family. And to make matters worse, her elder brother was even more dangerous. If Akira didn't join the family, his life could be over in the next moment. Akira had lost his parents in childhood, and since that day, only Rokumi had stayed by his side. She had promised she would never leave him. Time passed, and now in school, Akira had become the center of attention, a target so difficult to conquer that even girls found it challenging. The reason was that he could only talk to Rokumi and no one else. He didn't want to be like this either, but he couldn't fight his psychological trauma. He was afraid of losing something after gaining it. Meanwhile, Rokumi, without hesitation, would bring out a lunchbox for Akira in front of everyone. The boys around them couldn't decide who to envy more, the school's most difficult boss-type guy or their favorite idol girl. Rokumi had only one worry: would Akira remain socially anxious for the rest of his life? Akira would immediately retort that Rokumi should think about her own marriage, since she was the most beautiful girl in school and received countless confessions daily. Yet, she had never accepted a single guy. The girl wouldn't respond with words, but would instead stuff food into his mouth to shut him up. But this romantic moment was interrupted by a teacher who suddenly appeared and devoured their tamagoyaki roll. The teacher seemed like a crazed fan of Rokumi. Wherever there was food, he would show up. Akira didn't understand anything yet, but found their behavior a bit odd. The teacher then told Akira to come to the staff room after school. Akira still ignored invitations from others because he was deeply afraid of forming connections. The closer he got, the more it would hurt when they left. If the teacher hadn't forcibly called him, he would never have gone. In the staff room, the teacher confessed his friendship to Akira without hesitation and immediately showed him secretly taken photos of Rokumi on his phone. At first, Akira was just nervous, but as he looked through the images, he was shocked. They weren't just recent photos, but also ones from Rokumi's childhood and home. Then the teacher revealed the truth. He was Rokumi's elder brother, an obsessive siscon who had threatened every boy who liked Rokumi. Akira immediately realized something bad was about to happen, and just as he thought it, a knife was pressed against his throat. Was his story about to end here? Suddenly, a white-haired, twin-tailed girl burst in with a flashbang and saved Akira. When Akira regained consciousness, he found himself in a strange house where people were showering him with flowers. Just moments ago, he had encountered Rokumi's terrifying brother, and now he was surrounded by even weirder people. He instinctively stepped back. Rokumi calmed him down and said these people were her family, the Yeon family. Every member of this family was eccentric. The white-haired girl who saved him was the second sister. The third brother carried a shield everywhere. There was a net-addicted temple sister, a cat boy-looking Qianwu, a shy boy, Kie-ai, and a dog-like gatekeeper brother, Lia. Rokumi casually introduced the family members and dropped the bombshell. They were a spy family. For Akira, this was a shock. How could these people treat spy work like a normal grocery business? In disbelief, he picked up a gun lying on the table, thinking it was a toy, but it was real. Akira was in complete shock while everyone else acted as if nothing had happened. They said their work wasn't like before, and that they had a good online rating, 4.8 stars. There was even a proper review system in the spy world. Xianwu pulled out a spy magazine with the teacher, who was actually their eldest brother, Xiong Yilang, Rokumi's elder brother, on the cover. He was a legendary spy whose name everyone knew, but his behavior was psycho. The magazine featured his wallpapers and quotes. Akira couldn't understand why such a big spy was working as a schoolteacher. Then came the explanation. Someone had planned to kill Rokumi, so Xiong Yilang attacked. But for Akira, this was unfair. He had nothing to do with it. It was just a misunderstanding. This was actually a result of Yilang's past trauma. He had once failed to protect his sister, and the white strand in Rokumi's hair was a mark of that tension. Guilt had made Yilang obsessive and paranoid about Rokumi. He monitored everything, and he had never liked Akira. Only Rokumi's presence had kept him quiet until now. He had finally found an excuse to eliminate Akira. The other family members apologized to Akira, but then Yilang returned home. Everyone warned that he was dangerous for Akira. Even if they all fought together, Yilang could still win. Then another option was suggested. Akira should marry Rokumi. If he entered the Yeon family through marriage, the family rule was that members couldn't harm each other. This could save Akira's life. Their marriage ritual was simple: a double-layered ring where one part was given to the partner and the marriage would be complete. This idea came from Rokumi's two siblings, who were fed up with Yilang's siscon behavior. For them, it was killing 3 birds with 1 stone. But was marriage something to be taken so lightly? Akira thought about his past trauma, but Rokumi outright rejected the idea. She knew the pain hidden in Akira's heart. For her, true love wasn't forced. Despite everything she was willing to do for Akira, she didn't want to add to his pain. With this path closed, the others planned to fight. Rokumi apologized to Akira for dragging him into her family's drama. Before anyone could react, Yilang was already among them. His level was different. No trap, locked door, or plan worked on him. He broke through everything and stood before them. The others confronted him, but he emerged unscathed. Then he summoned his ultimate weapon, Gang no Tama, a metallic ball. To him, the others were like children playing games. If he wanted, he could destroy everyone and the entire house. But to buy time to save Akira, everyone used their special abilities. The second brother's power was advanced martial arts, far above ordinary people, but even he couldn't last long against the eldest brother. He was quickly defeated and tied to the ceiling. The temple sister activated a high-tech device from her phone, treating the real world like a game. It was clear Xiong Yilong was a high-level boss, but gamers never quit, no matter how tough the boss. Bullets fired from his drones. Akira, who was running away, was worried about everyone's safety, but Rokumi softly told him only his life was in danger, so he should hide quietly. She repeated her promise, "I will never disappear." When Yilong reached the room, Rokumi shielded Akira. He called out to his sister, "Come here." Surprisingly, Rokumi started moving toward him, but midway, she suddenly pulled out a gun and fired. But Yilong had anticipated this. Rokumi wasn't behaving like herself. He realized this wasn't the real Rokumi, but Xianwu, the disguise master who could perfectly mimic any family member. But when he played Akira's role as Rokumi, there were flaws. When Yilong caught him, Rokumi stopped hiding and clearly said, "Akira would never hurt me." Her words were filled with pain. She had been with him since childhood and Yilong knew everything. Seeing his sister so emotionally involved, Yilong finally relented. He said he could let Akira go, but in exchange, Rokumi would never be allowed to leave the house again. Rokumi agreed. If sacrificing her freedom would save Akira's life, she would do it. Seeing this, Akira couldn't control himself. He stepped out from behind the frame and said he wouldn't accept her sacrifice. He too had childhood trauma and understood the fear of loss, but he couldn't bear to see fear on Rokumi's face because of that fear. So he immediately proposed to marry Rokumi as they had once promised. He said if her promise was true, that she would never disappear from his side, then they should become a family. Rokumi had been waiting for this promise. She happily threw her ring toward Akira, but how could Yilong let it happen? He immediately stopped the ring with a silk thread, but Akira, risking his hand being cut, grabbed the ring and put it on. Rokumi had protected him for years. Now it was his turn. The marriage ceremony was complete, and Yilong could no longer harm him. The family members cheered happily. Only Yilong remained depressed, as if his world had ended. Akira and Rokumi smiled at each other, but winning Rokumi's heart was no easy task. That night, Akira lay in bed, thinking, what was all that? It felt like a dream, but he had no idea it would be his last peaceful day. When he opened his eyes again, Yilong was standing before him, this time with a knife. Akira used all his strength to escape, but Yilong calmly said this was their family's morning call routine with a knife. Akira insulted him, but Yilong insisted Akira was now part of the spy family. His senses needed to be sharp. He tied Akira up for training exercises. Meanwhile, Rokumi was in the kitchen, making a love-filled lunch for Akira. When she heard the noise and entered the bedroom, she saw the two enjoying themselves. Yilong seemed serious at first, but when his sister got angry, he immediately stopped. One who can tame the wild, that was Rokumi's effect. After this crazy warm-up, Yilong's intuition suddenly activated. He grabbed Akira and Rokumi and jumped out the window. Akira was completely shocked. They were falling from the second floor, but the next moment, their room exploded. He had unknowingly saved his life again. Yilong casually mentioned someone had planted a bomb in their house. Akira was now officially a member of the Nightingale family. Attacks were coming for him too. He learned the family's true mission to protect Rokumi. But the shocking part was, Rokumi wasn't just a spy, but the true heir of the Nightingale family. In every generation, one person was born without superpowers, and that person was the real leader, the true successor of the bloodline. Akira was now Rokumi's husband. His future would be full of dangers. The other siblings wanted Rokumi to live a normal life, but Akira didn't want to run from this responsibility. Yilong had already guessed Rokumi would react this way. In the future, Rokumi would have to reveal her identity in the spy world. School life was just a temporary phase. The family's enemies wouldn't miss this opportunity, and just as he finished speaking, a full-fledged gun squad appeared behind them. These people were literally here for target practice against Yilong. Akira panicked. The car was attacked, bullets flying everywhere. Yilong told the driver, "Can't you drive smoother?" Then it was revealed. The driver wasn't human, but a black cat. Yes, their ancestors had even given the bloodline to a cat, and this cat could drive well too. When the enemy fired a rocket launcher, it only grazed the bumper, but Yilong couldn't tolerate even that. He jumped onto the car and wiped out the entire enemy camp with his silk threads. His threads could cut through missiles. He literally signaled with his finger, and the cars exploded. Upon returning, Yilong told Akira, "Only if you can protect like this do you deserve Rokumi." This was Akira's first spy mission. Holding a gun, he felt his journey had only just begun. Rokumi said, "Don't stress him out too much," but Yilong was dead serious. He revealed Akira's first opponent would be Yuwu, a dangerous bomb expert, the one who had blown up Akira's old home. Yuwu's bomb-making skills were so advanced even Yilong had praised him. They had once worked together, but as they say, friendship isn't permanent, only interests are. Yuwu's style was to scare first with small hits, then use customized bombs for the final attack. This time, he had hinted at 3 bombs for Akira. Only one had been found so far. Akira had to find the other 2. Yilong even warned Akira that the slightest mistake mistake would have terrible consequences. Upon reaching school, they sighed in relief, but Akira was already consumed by anxiety. As soon as he entered, he started looking for traps and bombs everywhere. Even his classmates stared at him strangely. His 3 fanboys came again to give daily love advice, but Akira's mind was only on hidden bombs. When he found nothing in the classroom, he thought the enemy had taken a more discreet approach. He decided to stick to Rokumi all day to catch any attack signals. Then Yuwu posted. The second bomb was set. Akira couldn't understand how he'd missed it. Then he saw a suspicious shadow in the school building and went to check, but a health teacher intercepted him. Akira had no justification, so he had to let it go. Meanwhile, Rokumi listened to gossip. People were talking about ghost sightings and alternate selves. Some claimed to have seen another themselves. Akira observed Rokumi for the first time. He realized she was always alert, never alone, never ate food given by others, all instincts to avoid assassination. He deeply respected her life. Then the 3 fanboys appeared again, trying to take advantage. This time, Akira accidentally accepted their gift, shocking all 3. When he realized his mistake, his social anxiety triggered again, but he tried to stay strong for Rokumi. The boys suggested he go to the health room, but the health teacher was on leave, so who was the person Akira had seen earlier? When Akira opened his eyes, he was in a vacant restroom. Good news, Rokumi was safe. Akira began doubting himself. Was a guy like him, not even normal, worthy of Rokumi? After all these years together, he knew nothing about her family or struggles. He had always depended on her. Even the marriage was his decision. Hearing this, Rokumi slapped him because Akira was thinking backward. In this emotional moment, Akira spotted another bomb. The room exploded again. Nearby, Kie and the health teacher observed the health teacher was actually Xianwu in disguise. The temple sister monitored everything with her drones. Akira reacted quickly and pulled Rokumi into a locker, or they would have been blown up. Akira connected everything, from his home to the restroom. Traps were set according to his psychology. Someone was predicting his every thought. He remembered Yilong's warning. Sometimes you can't even trust yourself. Akira quickly checked his shirt. Shockingly, the 3rd bomb was set on him. Yuwu had anticipated Akira wouldn't leave Rokumi's side. Akira had no choice. He jumped out the window, but was caught by familiar silk threads. Yilong had saved him again. This time, Akira understood Yilong's real meaning. In this world, maybe you can't trust anyone, but you can trust family. No matter how dangerous Yilong sounded, he had accepted Akira as family. He wouldn't let him die. The bomb was removed from Akira's shirt, and Yilong returned it, but this time, the actual culprit was tied to it. Both were sent flying into the sky like fireworks. For the Nightingale family, this was an artistic moment. Rokumi even liked Yuwu's final death tweet. Yilong felt happy for a moment, but when he remembered Akira had permanently moved into their house, his mood soured again. Yuwu might have unintentionally helped, but because of him, Akira and Rokumi were now officially living together. For Akira, everything had been too intense. Even if he succeeded in the mission, the psychological trauma remained. The smallest difficulty made him fear failing to protect Rokumi. That night, after a nightmare, he woke up to a cat attack. He had to call Rokumi for bandages and comfort. Actually, Rokumi had kept the cat to protect Akira, but Akira accidentally stepped on its tail, and it almost exploded. The cat instantly softened when Rokumi arrived but remained furious at Akira. The double standards were on another level. Frustrated, Akira finally went to the Nightingale family's second sister, a logical and sensible spy, and asked for proper spy training. The second sister was sewing clothes but stopped at Akira's request. She said the plan was already ready, gradual improvement for an ordinary person, but Akira wanted a shortcut. He didn't have time. His enemies wouldn't wait, and he couldn't protect Rokumi if he learned slowly. He wanted to become powerful quickly. The second sister understood, but still hit him with a giant hammer, because in the Nightingale family, strength and logic went hand in hand. Her Aikido and Jiu-Jitsu were world-class, and she had been training since age 3. That meant even with Nightingale bloodline, it took 3 years to reach base level. For a common human like Akira, it would be tougher. Still, she gave him a chance. If he stayed in the family house for a month, he could officially join the training. At first, Akira thought it was simple. 1 month? Easy. But the second sister explained their house itself was a trap. Hidden spy training traps everywhere. Staying there meant being alert every second. Just as Akira smiled, the floor beneath him slipped. A trap activated. And so began Akira's 1 month of the most normal life, where every morning was a nightmare. Yilong had said their morning call was with a knife. The reality was worse. If Akira woke up late, a bomb under his bed would activate. Once, he ran to the hall, but there too he risked becoming roasted pig. Just waking up cost him half his life. Xianwu stood to the side, enjoying it, until Rokumi dragged him away. Akira realized everyone in the Nightingale mansion was a warrior, but Rokumi wasn't afraid. As the head of the house, she had special privileges. The traps targeted outsiders, not family members. Once the house accepted Akira, the traps couldn't harm him, like an invincible buff. He could continue training later, but the choice was his. Normally, it took 2 years for a common person to become safe from traps. Akira had only 1 month. Now he understood how unreasonable the second sister's demand was. But the troubles didn't stop there. Akira suddenly felt nauseous and had diarrhea. Because even the food was part of training, it contained micro-poisons to develop toxin resistance. Akira couldn't even speak. He ran straight to the bathroom, but the toilet had a military-grade password lock. Yilong passed by, amused by the chaos. From morning till now, everyone had shown their skills. The psycho brother had even broken the toilet. The second sister elegantly silenced him. Only Akira was suffering through this daily hell. When he went to the fridge for a bottle, the temple sister arrested him with drones. The second sister snatched things with lightning speed, leaving Akira empty-handed. Plus, the gun trap wouldn't leave him alone. Even turning on the TV was a shooting contest. The remote was 50 meters away. Every meal had slow poison. The bathroom lock remained an unsolved puzzle, and the Nightingale family loved this spectacle. When he finally relaxed in the shower, the micro-controlled spray blasted him. He was drenched. The next day at school, his condition worsened. Not only was his mental state poor, but he also wore a weighted shirt so heavy he could barely stand. Nighttime was stealth training. Akira practiced shooting in front of the TV. Rokumi caught him, and for the first time, they had a peaceful moment alone. Rokumi was worried about Akira's condition. He said he was fine, but Rokumi saw he was pushing his limits for her. Then she reminded him Akira hadn't always been weak. In middle school, girls bullied Rokumi for her unique white hair strand. Back then, Akira stood up for her without a physical fight. He randomly cut his own hair in front of them. The move was so irrational, everyone thought he was mentally disturbed and ran away. Since that day, Rokumi had vowed to protect him. Akira's training was starting to show results. He could cross infrared bomb sensors and accurately pick up the TV remote. The Star Brother taught him shooting form, and the Temple Sister secretly guided him with drones. Akira finally asked why the Star Brother always stayed in a trash can. It turned out he also had social anxiety, hence the closed shell. The room had 3 socially awkward beings: Akira, the Star Brother, and the Temple Sister. When Akira left, the family discussed his condition. His improvement rate wasn't normal. Was it talent or a mentally broken obsession? Meanwhile, Jianwu carried a shelf to where Akira and Kie were training, avoiding poison gas traps. Time fast-forwarded. Akira was now so used to the weighted shirt he could comfortably reach the canteen without tiring. Only one barrier remained: the bathroom and food. Rokumi felt guilty serving meals, while Jianwu checked if Akira had collapsed. Akira finally collapsed. His body gave in to fever from overexertion. A medical check revealed he was completely exhausted. His skin was even a fake mask he'd worn to seem fine. Actually, Akira had secretly taken extra training from every sibling, non-stop without sleep. Seeing his full dedication, everyone was shocked. He was literally committing suicide. Struggling on the hospital bed, Akira said it was his choice. He just wanted to become strong enough to protect Rokumi quickly. The second sister and Temple Sister chopped his head. How can you protect others if you can't take care of yourself? They explained patience was part of training. They gifted him a children's puzzle book. Solve this first and find the toilet password. Akira thanked them. He realized approaching the second sister was the best decision. Though they seemed harsh, they had accepted him. The second sister had once said, "You can't win the world with simple emotions," but Akira proved it with his courage and love for Rokumi. The next morning, Akira's first task was unlocking the password lock. The family cheered. With this, all house traps deactivated for him. The ring on his hand glowed, a sign the house had accepted him. Now, Akira and Rokumi's contract was officially valid. His spy training would begin the next day. Rokumi was in the kitchen making poisonous breakfast, but this time she added less poison. But when she saw Akira, his makeup was girly, her hand slipped and disaster almost struck. Almost everyone died from the poison. Akira quickly clarified, "I was just practicing disguises." Then Jianwu entered in villainous beauty mode, teaching Akira lingerie disguise training. The Star Brother walked in awkwardly. His reaction was priceless. Jianwu flirted. "Bro, you smell so good." Wife Rokumi watched. Akira quickly removed Xianwu's wig. Then Yilong appeared, hoping to join the fun, but Rokumi stopped him with full force. Even today, Rokumi's head of household position remained solid. The next morning was energetic. The Star Brother left for a simple mission, retrieving a model doppelganger. But what was simple for him, only he knew. Akira and Rokumi went to school routinely. Now, Akira was fully transformed. His aura was so sharp he could sense a baseball ball coming from afar. The sports club teacher thought he was superhuman. He wanted him on the team. Rokumi was a little worried. Akira's behavior and movements were almost non-human after training. He had become like a real ninja. Campus rumors spread. Akira felt guilty. Rokumi was attracting more attention because of him, but now that they were quietly married, feeding him lunch was an official rite. Rokumi wanted to give him tamagoyaki with her own hands, but she pulled back the chopsticks. She had another task for Akira after school. Rokumi's bronchitis had become obedient after training. She immediately agreed, and Akira got his favorite tamagoyaki. After school, Akira returned home to a mountain of paperwork. The whole house was filled with files. His mind wondered, was his wife really a normal girl? Rokumi's stamping speed was lightning fast, but her accuracy was top tier. The task she wanted Akira's help with was file categorization. Now Akira understood how hard it was to be the head of a family. Assassination threats by day, overtime by night, plus family antics. Like Yilang, who secretly slipped divorce papers into the stack, hoping Rokumi would stamp them by mistake for a win-win. Meanwhile, Xianwu always took shortcuts, forcing Rokumi to confront him personally. When Akira entered Xianwu's room, he was stunned. The room was a junk pile, with no space to step. The disguise master, always classy outside, had the opposite room. When Rokumi asked him to complete files, Xianwu refused, and blamed her for being a perfectionist. On one side was Pai Ren, Fartman, on the other, Ju Ren, Giant. Akira played diplomat, offering to help, but as he reached into the clothes pile, his hand touched a grenade. Xianwu's rule was, never do troublesome work. He considered himself a free sprite, and even not wearing clothes in front of his sister was his freedom symbol. When Rokumi reminded him of his cute childhood when he bathed with her, Xianwu casually said, "You were cute back then, now you're like a mom." Rokumi's anger peaked. She finally showed her true head of family energy, but Xianwu was ready. He wrapped himself in a blanket and ran. Akira tried to stop him, but Xianwu instantly disguised himself as Rokumi. For a second, Akira was confused, and Xianwu disappeared into a secret passage. But Rokumi had a trump card. She activated head family hibernation mode, where no family member could escape the system. But Xianwu wasn't the only one in trouble. Star brother Shinzan was stuck in a simple mission. The enemy numbers exceeded his estimate, and the base was heavily guarded. He found valuable intel. The mastermind was a young person, and their target, the fake model, was already recovered, but his escape options were gone. Meanwhile, Akira and Rokumi were busy searching the house for Xianwu. Rokumi started in her room, where Akira was impressed. His wife was perfect in every field. But when Akira saw a suggestive photo frame, Yilang's face flashed in his mind. If he saw this, chaos would ensue. They went to the temple sister's room, where she was trying a motion sensing game but collapsed from poor stamina. She hadn't seen Xianwu. The second sister was sleeping in a rocking chair. To avoid her wake-up rage mode, Akira quietly exited. Kie was working on poisonous gas in the lab. Akira was sure Xianwu wouldn't be there. Next was the Black Cat's luxury gold-plated room. And finally, Shinzan's weapon arsenal. After seeing all rooms, Akira was amazed. Only one room remained, Yilang's. As he opened it, an intense Rokumi scent hit him. He was drenched in sweat. Then the reveal, Xianwu had been nearby all along. When the original 247 appeared, they realized Xianwu had been playing cat and mouse. He hid in the hallway painting frame. As they turned, he disappeared into another secret route. Rokumi was furious. This was a personal defeat. She hadn't known about these secret tunnels. Akira's eyes had a mischievous smile, as if this was all part of Xianwu's plan. They returned to Xianwu's room, where Rokumi handcuffed the fake Akira. No matter how skilled Xianwu was, he lost, because no trick could beat real love and trust. Akira always let Rokumi enter first. This clue helped her catch Xianwu. His plan was to send a false message through Rokumi, but this time, she understood his psychology. Xianwu imagined his little sister, who once bathed with him, had grown so mature. His plan failed, but he happily surrendered to Rokumi's authority. Akira reunited with them, and the three completed paperwork together. After this fun mission, their bond grew stronger. Only Yilang's heart broke a little. Then Shinzan's emergency call came. Akira answered. Shinzan's panicked voice was heard. Rokumi immediately got serious, analyzing the situation via video call. She distracted Shinzan with weapon talk. Shinzan's main issue was he had no weapons, making him unstable. Weapons were his life. Without them, he was nothing. Only Akira could help now. The plan was for Akira to deliver his weapon. A three-way communication line was set up. Rokumi gave navigation, Shinzan yelled on the call, and Akira rushed. But midway, a gun was pressed to Rokumi's head. Luckily, she had already activated Shinzan's backdoor plan. She handled the attacker. A slight commotion alerted the guards. Akira was in the mood to test his training results. He initiated stealth combat. He wore armor, unfazed even by 3 attackers. He delivered the weapon to Shinzan. Shinzan emotionally broke down seeing Akira. Getting his weapon back overwhelmed him. He couldn't live without it, but their location was traced. Before Akira could react, a sniper bullet grazed his thigh. He was injured. Enemies took him hostage, demanding Shinzan drop his weapon. Shinzan faced the biggest conflict: drop the weapon or save Akira. But he had a third option, a true spy's path. Whatever's in your hand becomes a weapon. As the sniper aligned his scope, Akira threw a training blade. The sniper panicked, and Shinzan grabbed his real gun. Though late, it was enough. Shinzan carried Akira back to base. On the way, both awkwardly blamed themselves. "It's my fault." When two socially anxious guys teamed up, others thought they were real brothers. Outwardly calm Shinzan had run out of bullets, but inside, he was as panicked as Akira. The next morning, Akira was on a loving call with Rokumi. They planned to watch the sunset, but an old car stopped nearby. A long-haired, rundown-looking man stepped out. Shady. He asked Akira for his ID and reached into his coat. Akira thought, this guy's a killer, but the next moment, moment, the man pulled out a police badge, Detective Fushan. Reluctantly, Akira went with him to the station. Fushan turned the computer screen. A shocking image, Akira tied with ropes. Akira sweated. Nightingale family records should have been deleted. More photos and videos appeared. Illegal firearms, a highway chase, a school explosion, all under Akira's name. Fushan was suspicious. So many operations, yet no partner records? You're part of a secret organization. For Akira, this was a 100% hit. Fushan said, "Tell the truth, and your punishment will be lighter." But Akira stubbornly refused. "I won't say anything." Fushan casually brought him water, but clearly dropped a white packet in it. A drugging attempt. Akira doubted. Truth serum? Fushan didn't lie. He poured the water into Akira's mouth. Luckily, Akira had a water-repelling germ in his throat. He vomited instantly. When he looked up, Fushan was gone. As he stood, blood dripped from a bag. Fushan returned and explained. The bag held a criminal who escaped justice with money and power. Punishing such people was his duty. Then he pinned Akira to the wall. His nature was more vigilante than cop. When Akira still said nothing, Fushan prepared to hit him. But Akira spotted a barely visible bloodline spot on his body. Everything clicked. Akira firmly said, "Even if I knew everything, I wouldn't talk." This satisfied Fushan. "Good, now you're worth hitting." Then Yilong appeared from behind the wall. Akira was confused. Fushan and Yilong were old school friends. Turns out, the Nightingale family and police had a mutual favor system. The family covered illegal stuff, and the police turned a blind eye. This whole interrogation was a test for Akira. Yilong had said, "I want to send my son-in-law on a mission," and Fushan doubted him. But after today's exam, Fushan was impressed. Akira, who hadn't rested since morning, was mentally drained. The next day at school, Akira looked terrible, dark circles under his eyes. As the teacher entered, he asked, "Son, are you okay?" This teacher was none other than Yilong, the mastermind behind the torture. In class, Akira struggled to stay awake. His eyelids felt like dumbbells. As he closed his eyes, chalk flew past his head, taking a strand of hair. Akira dodged quickly. If he hadn't reacted in time, his face would have been like the wall. Yilong wrote on the blackboard while communicating with Akira in Morse code. "Sleep control is basic. I graduated sleep training at 15. He monitored Akira's heartbeat via steel wire. If it slowed, chalk missiles flew. Rokumi joined the Morse conversation, writing secret messages too. Akira wondered, what's going on? Rokumi was alert, but her brother was in full psycho mode. Akira's ego was hurt. "I can do it." Then Yilong placed a small yellow chalk ball on the table. When he tapped it, yellow smoke filled the classroom. Instant hypnotic gas. All students passed out. Akira felt sleepy too. Rokumi quickly wore a gas mask, but when she looked at Akira, his head was down. Yilong assumed Akira was asleep and threw a chalk missile, but Akira reacted in semi-awake mode, dodging the chalk. Yilong was pleased. Good, semi-awakened state reached. He challenged Akira further. Rokumi feared Yilong would torture Akira too much, but in dream state, Akira fought Yilong almost equally. But this half-awakened state didn't return. A side effect was sleepwalking. The temple sister Kie was shocked to find him wandering at night. After the break, Akira's new training mission began. Codename, Spy-Style Romantic Date. Spies rarely had time for romance. Research showed 90% divorced because they neglected partners. Akira feared, what if I lose Rokumi while protecting her? As he planned the date with Rokumi over tea, Fushan's urgent call came. The mission was immediate. Rokumi had to leave. Mission location, amusement park. Fushan briefed Akira. A couple making illegal firearms was hiding there. Their identities were unknown. Akira had to observe every suspect closely. Akira searched the park but found nothing. Depressed, he sat down. Then, Rokumi brought him a warm cup. This was the perfect wife's true meaning, joining her husband's awkward mission to support him. Rokumi and Akira observed suspicious couples. Their first target was a group of 3 couples at a nearby table. Rokumi confidently told Akira nothing would go wrong as long as she was with him. Akira agreed. After all, Rokumi wasn't the target. When she passed him a drink, Akira realized, isn't this a perfect date moment? Then he noticed an overly affectionate couple. He said, "You look beautiful today, especially climbing stairs." Rokumi teased, compliment or bad joke? Their next observation was a roller coaster couple. Unexpectedly, Akira fell asleep during the ride. Training had made even roller coasters a lullaby. Rokumi, understanding as ever, said nothing. Their next couple was a bodybuilder duo, but Akira felt no connection. Another couple was full of romantic pink hearts. Akira felt zero chemistry, like a prize wheel with no romance. Meanwhile, the muscle guy kissed his partner. Akira felt even bald bodybuilders had more emotional quotient. His confidence dropped further. Their last target was a suit-wearing couple they followed to the gift shop. Rokumi left for coffee, and Akira monitored the couple. But when the suited man pulled out an engagement ring, all doubts cleared. They were normal. Akira was disheartened. 3 suspect couples, all innocent. He had a rose bouquet surprise for Rokumi, but his mood was ruined. Then a shocking twist. The pink-loving couple suddenly argued and pulled out special guns. The real culprits were the ones flaunting love. The gift shop descended into chaos. People fled. Akira lost his bouquet saving saving a child. His patience snapped. Police arrived and arrested the couple. After the chaotic mission, Akira and Rokumi finally had a peaceful moment, a Ferris wheel ride at sunset. Rokumi softly said, "They say couples who ride the Ferris wheel at sunset never stop loving." Akira awkwardly blushed and secretly gave her the rose bouquet. Rokumi's face turned red. Even amid mission stress, her heart melted. Meanwhile, at Nightingale House, Temple sister Siyuan was in her personal hell. After 80 hours of data handling, she finally slept. But as she closed her eyes, the emergency alert system activated. Siyuan woke in panic, grabbing her controller. On the opposite monitor, a white-haired hacker's face appeared. His random button mashing crashed the system. He unplugged it. Classic hacker move. When the system restored, Siyuan was shocked. All files were replaced with Akira's photos. The hacker had stolen only Akira's data. Meanwhile, Akira and Rokumi happily prepared for school, but encountered a zombie-like Siyuan, her face showing 48 hours without sleep. Siyuan casually said, "An unknown hacker stole only Akira's photos." Rokumi and Akira were stunned. "Someone stole only my pictures?" Akira wondered. "Am I being stalked?" Then another shocking incident. A masked figure attacked them. Rokumi identified the attacker from his dialogue and costume. The infamous male stalker killer, Kia Chi-sha Xiang. Akira's mind froze for a second. This girl was a real obsessed spy who stalked and assassinated boys she fell for. Her needle attacks were deadly. This time, her obsession was Akira. Kia Chi emotionally reacted to Akira's wanted posters. "This guy is so dreamy, people want to kill him, I want to make him mine." As they tried to understand her, Kia Chi threw a flying needle, exposing a hidden assassin. Her obsession was dangerous. "No one else has the right to touch even a single hair of my Akira." She knew everything about Akira, his habits, school schedule, weak points. Rokumi was shocked. "She's as much a stalker as me," Akira quickly declared. "I'm a married man. Forgive me," Kia Chi cried. "I wanted to kill Rokumi and take you, but I promised your brother-in-law." Rokumi and Akira froze. "Wait, Xiang Yilong is involved?" Turns out, Kia Chi had approached the Nightingale family, and Yilong gave her permission. "Just don't hurt Rokumi. Do whatever you want with Akira." He'd even given her the family database password to collect Akira's info. Hearing this, Akira and Rokumi lost their patience. But Kia Chi reacted first. She threw a rain of silver needles and disappeared. They thought, maybe we'll have peace for a while. But no. The next day, Kia Chi joined their school as a student, sitting right next to Akira. Every moment became a life-and-death situation for Akira. Spiked basketballs in PE class, unsafe lunchtime, classroom life was now impossible for Akira. Kia Chi could attack any time, just waiting for the right moment. Akira was on the verge of a mental breakdown. "What normal person hides flying weapons in textbooks?" Kia Chi cried at her desk. But the next moment, her madness escalated. She injected silver needles into every student. Hypnosis poison. Like zombies, they attacked Akira. He couldn't resist. He didn't want the brainwashed students hurt. Their safety came first. But Kia Chi's obsession had crossed into insanity. Everyone was disposable. If she wanted Akira, sacrifices were acceptable. As she prepared another attack, Rokumi shielded Akira, but another twist. The assassin Kia Chi had knocked out earlier reappeared at the window. "What are you doing?" the assassin yelled. But Rokumi fearlessly pushed Kia Chi down, saving Akira. Kia Chi, who thought Rokumi was her rival, was confused. "Why save me?" Rokumi calmly explained. "Because you understood Akira's qualities, so I'm happy." This reply melted Kia Chi. She became Rokumi's fan instead. Plot twist. Akira was now the third wheel. Just then, Akira got a call from Temple sister Siyuan. Confused, he was forcibly dragged to her room. Rokumi explained. Siyuan would occasionally force someone to be her gaming companion. Last time, Shinzan was tortured for 5 days. Now, it was Akira's turn. Siyuan casually said, "Today's mission is just a test, no life threat." But Akira was terrified. The game started. Every character looked like Yilong, even the final boss. Akira gave 200% effort and won. But as he defeated the final boss, a news report aired. A real train had stopped for unknown reasons. The game was synced with reality. The stopped train was part of Siyuan's mission. The actual mission was a helicopter trying to forcibly enter a nuclear power plant. It had to be stopped. In-game, the helicopter became a flying monster, and small enemies took Yilong's form. Siyuan fought the monster while Akira glitched. He phased through a wall, becoming invincible. He didn't attack but cheered for Siyuan. For the final boss, Akira's mind worked differently. He intentionally used a bug to resurrect a flying dragon boss who fought for them. Siyuan was impressed but angry. "No bug exploits!" She subjected Akira to a 3-day no-sleep gaming challenge. Poor Akira entered a 72-hour gaming hell. 3 days later, Akira trained with dumbbells at home. Kie called, "Bro, pick me up." Akira casually asked, "From where?" Kie awkwardly said, "Call it the Evil Research Lab." Akira froze. What the hell? Turns out, Kie had infiltrated an underworld toxic chemical lab. He stole a purple capsule. If it exploded, nothing would survive within 10 koi. He didn't want to transport it, too risky, so he decided to swallow it. it. Akira's reaction was obvious. Bro, are you insane? But Kiei explained his body could digest poison. He just needed 3 hours of sleep to recover, but he fell into a coma. Akira was instantly ready. Mission gear on, he headed to the evil research lab. The lab was eerily quiet. Something felt off. As he crossed a corner, guards lay unconscious. Security was breached. Someone had gotten there first. Then a gun pressed against Akira's back, but a chain knocked out the attacker. The chain had a flower emblem. Akira was confused. Friend or enemy? 2 men appeared. A cheerful yellow-haired guy always smiling, and a scary green-haired guy. The shock came when the green-haired guy directly said Akira's name. The yellow-haired guy didn't recognize him because he wasn't wearing glasses. The yellow-haired guy, Wang Ya, was goofy. The green-haired guy, Kang Chui, was serious and cold. Both were elite government agents. Their mission was to collapse the chemical weapon facility. Akira remembered Chu Ju, government-backed agents working on national orders, unlike freelance spies like him. Kang Chui instructed Wang Ya to report. Wang Ya's enhanced hearing detected 5 people southeast. Their weapons, too, sniffed out. Akira was in awe, but then Wang Ya clung to him. He was Akira's fan, popular in the spy world lately. Wang Ya wanted to join Akira in action. Akira felt these two were strong. They'd helped him, so staying with them was dangerous but helpful. The main task was finding Kiei. The 3 reached the deepest lab, where Kiei was safe, just sleeping. Akira was relieved, but then Wang Ya suddenly attacked Akira. Akira barely blocked it, but his hand was in pain. Kang Chui revealed their real mission: eliminate Kiei. They'd recorded Akira and Kiei's conversation, using the coordinates to reach the lab. Now that Kiei had absorbed the deadly chemical, he was a bioweapon. Akira resisted, but Kang Chui was too powerful. One attack left Akira heavily injured. Wang Ya was shocked. So much power? He protested, but Kang Cui's pressure silenced him. Kang Chui was about to attack Kiei with a sword, but Kiei woke. His detox was complete. He pulled out a paper strip proving no venom remained. Kang Chui confirmed and stopped. He gave Akira a healing balm, but mocked his cowardice. Akira couldn't respond. He passed out. When he woke, he was hanging from the ceiling in Yilong's torture zone. Yilong asked, "Do you even know why you're being punished?" He showed an article mocking Akira for losing to Chuju agents. Yilong was furious at the public embarrassment. Most importantly, Yilong said if Chiei had died because of Akira, he'd never forgive him. Better Akira had died at the agent's hands, but then Rokumi and Kiei's love punch hit Yilong's head. Rokumi removed the tape from Akira's mouth. Akira confessed, "I messed up. I'm weak. If I were strong, Kiei wouldn't have been in danger." Yilong gently held Akira's face, then gave him a spinning pile driver. Akira literally rotated. Yilong said, "Saying sorry won't cut it. If you want responsibility, defeat the Chuju agents." These words struck Akira's heart. The next morning, Kang Chui was slicing a thug's shirt with a sword when he spotted Akira following him. Kang Chui asked suspiciously, "Here for revenge?" Akira explained, "No, I'm here to gather intel on you." Akira said Yilong had told him Kang Chui was No. 1 in intelligence gathering. His mission was to analyze Kang Chui fully for his family. "I need the blade that makes a spy like you," Kang Chui mocked. "Does any spy honestly state their mission objective?" Still, he lost interest. "You can't match my pace." As the train gate opened, Kang Chui vanished in a silent flash step. His Chu-Ju blue butterfly dragon footwork technique, super fast, silent, deadly. Yilang had warned Akira, "You're too slow to even see his movements." But Akira didn't give up. He leaped after Kang Chui, but as expected, police arrested him for public disturbance. From day 1, Akira chased Kang Chui and Wang Ya on train roofs, hiding in bushes. By day 3, he'd failed. At lunch, he watched Kang Chui eat bento in disciplined military style. This routine exhausted Akira. Day 7, Akira finally progressed enough to reach them mid-fight. Wang Ya was shocked. "This guy followed us this long?" This time, Kang Cui's attack didn't fully slice Akira's clothes. Progress. But this minor success annoyed Kang Chui. In anger, he sliced Wang Ya's clothes too. "You're both irritating." Cut to Nightingale House. Kiei asked, "Where's Akira?" Answer, "Tied to the kitchen counter as a cutting board substitute." Kiei was shocked. "What?" Akira weakly smiled. "I keep losing every day. I'm not a worthy brother." Kiei firmly said, "You don't get it. You're the best brother." Then Yilong entered, binding him with reinforced ropes. Turns out, Grandpa was a master escapist. Dislocated joints plus rubber bones made restraints useless. He vanished in smoke. Classic shinobi style. But Yilong had already planted a tracker on Akira. Goliath brought a photo revealing Grandpa had escaped using informants. His knowledge was a threat to every intelligence agency. Yilong clarified, "Even if he's not dangerous, Grandpa is a walking national threat." Why? Beautiful women were his trigger. He'd spill all secrets to them. Akira's mission was simple: monitor Grandpa, report every move. But in the field, Akira was shocked. Grandpa flirted, revealing national secrets. As Akira tried to shut him up, Grandpa Eel slipped out of his shirt. His body was still ripped, like a senior bodybuilding champion. Akira tried tried sticky slime, but Grandpa's moves were too smooth. Finally, Akira took the emotional route. Why today? Grandpa's eyes filled with sadness. A bartender served a specific bottle, memories of Grandpa's love. Rokumi's grandmother surfaced. Akira was offered a sip but refused. He was still a minor, a moral lesson for viewers. Grandpa shared his past romance, how he'd learned trust, and how his wife was his guiding light. Akira silently filled a glass for him, promising to always take care of Rokumi. This promise between men deeply impressed Grandpa, but as they left, an elegant older woman with handcuffs appeared, Rokumi's grandmother herself. Grandpa instantly softened, stars in his eyes. He pulled out her favorite drink and proposed romantically. But his wife was no nonsense. She stuffed him into a police van. Akira and Rokumi watched, but a new chemistry sparked between them. Turns out, today was Grandpa's jailbreak anniversary, their wedding anniversary. Rokumi remembered thanks to Goliath's photo. The next day, the family went grocery shopping. Akira and Rokumi's assignment, a very unusual shopping list. Bombs from a gachapon machine and explosions at the milk tea counter were their first clues. This mall was an underground black market for criminals. Each member had their task. Shiwan and Shin-san were on a weapons spree. Second sister got a deadly massage, casually asking, "How many people have you killed this month?" Chi-E and Xian Wu bought chemical supplies, and Xiong Yi took dark literature from hidden vaults. Akira and Rokumi met a lost child whose father had gone with shady people downstairs. When they followed, they found the father was a black market gang target for quitting illegal business. As the gang attacked him, Akira intervened, but then realized he was the biggest bounty target. The whole market turned on Akira. Then Yulong made a super entrance, Skyfall style. But the biggest surprise was the entire Nightingale family dropping in one by one. The Nightingale Avengers had arrived. Amid the fun and action, a layer of truth was revealed. Since Black Rose hinted about Akira's car accident, he'd been reliving the nightmare. With Shiyuan's help, he investigated old basketball toys. One contained a guest list from the Nightingale family's previous wedding ceremony. Shockingly, Akira's parents were on that list, meaning Akira and the Nightingales were connected before his birth. The exact relationship wasn't clear yet, but Akira stayed emotionally stable. He'd mentally prepared. Even if the Nightingales were behind his parents' death, he'd face the truth. And the most shocking twist? Someone else was struggling with this truth. If you liked this anime and want to see part 2, comment below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel.